Right, Purnima, thank you so much for joining us. Let me take it to my guests who are joining me on CNN News 18 on the same story. S Muralidharan, who is a political analyst, joins me. Also joining me is Mr. Ramaswamy Meyyapan. Mr. Meyyapan, I will come to you first. What do you make of this fresh statement that's come out? TTV Dinakaran clearly going ahead, showing some kind of support to Mr. OPS. However, also calling out what he's terming betrayers.
Yeah, I think the first position we'll have to make it clear is what the court's come to an understanding. So the court has brought to everyone's notice that the call for the meeting of the General Council was improper and therefore that goes away. They get back to status quo ante. And now with regards to what TTV Dinakaran has to play, I think he's faced his hard choices with the formation of AIADMK, and today he's trying to see if there is a route back for him into the party. And it seems like OPS is now his closest ally. And if EPS doesn't want to meet eye to eye with either of them, maybe both those people will join hands, and then friend of a friend or enemy of an enemy is a friend. Maybe that's the kind of trial that he's trying to make. But independently, I think as far as the ADMK is concerned, there's a necessity for a strong opposition in the state, and the ADMK will have to be unified. How they're going to do that will have to depend on their cadre. That's what has been clearly reinstated both by the cadre and by the courts today. So it's a call for the one anointed by Amma Jayalalithaa OPS and the one who seems to have control of the General Council today to take a call on how they proceed forward.
Mr. Muralidharan, do you feel so? Do you think this could be TTV Dinakaran's way back into the AIADMK faction because OPS doesn't have the numbers still?
Yeah, TTV Dinakaran is desperate because he himself has, had to go down in the last election with, I think, less than 5% vote share. So that's one thing. Second is, Mr. Edappadi, though, is gone back to the court again, to the divisional bench with the appeal. There are interesting things in his affidavit. What he claims is the single bench order by the judge, Honorable Judge Ramachandran, is unsustainable and illegal, he says. The reason is, he says, the coordinator and the joint coordinator tenure has got over. That is between EPS and OPS. So there is no way they can together call for another meeting. One. Second is the July 11th General Council meeting. OPS was expelled. And on the 20th, the same court ordered the handing over of the office premises to EPS and not OPS. So the court has already acknowledged that, this rightfully the APS should take the reins as well as he is eligible. So that's what the court has meant. So these are pointed out in the affidavit.
Do you actually think so? Because the fact that it was evidently clear that the ouster of OPS was nullified by the court, and that's why we are having this discussion, because it was very clear by the Madras High Court that what was decided on June 23rd is what stands. After that, everything is nullified. So OPS gets back into the faction. That's one thing. And this is what we're discussing over here. The court has also mentioned that 1/5 of the members need to get together, agree on a meeting, and within 30 days, that meeting has to happen.
No, before that, the court has acknowledged that EPS is the leader there. So that's where the ambiguity is. I mean, the whole confusion is there. And it also, the court has recognized that 2,190 council members out of 2,655 have voted Mr. EPS. That's what the court said, hand over the premises to EPS and not OPS. So this will be heard on Monday. And provided they could list, they could file it before 1:30 today. Monday, this case will be heard again by the bench. So single judge order is being appealed with at the divisional bench. So that's why it stands, and it's going to be very interesting. And I have a strong feeling that they're going to quash this order.
Okay, Mr. Meyyapan, would you like to respond to it? Do you feel so?
No, see, there are two issues. I think everyone keeps harping upon the strength of the General Council. That is not in dispute today. EPS may have control of the General Council. What's an issue is first the notice being issued. Understandably, they say that by flux of time that the two coordinators do not stand office. But that is not what their constitution, their bylaw says. Rule 20 and Rule 19 are different. So if there is no one in capacity to call for the meeting, it's the General Council that should call for the meeting. So, and how can the General Council call? At least 1/5 of the members who are still surviving and in office will have to call for the meeting. So if that is not the route, it's not that you set up a presidium or you send up a unified coordinator and then you call for a meeting. It is that the General Council calls for a meeting. So that completely has been dislodged. So there are three different positions. One, the notice will have to be proper, or you follow Rule 20, or you follow Rule 19. You can't skip over all the rules and then say that, okay, in any case, the General Council controls. they still may be able to do that. Now let the two coordinators together call for a meeting. If the two coordinators do not meet eye to eye on it, the general council, 1/5 of the members of the general council can anyways invite a meeting. If they don't agree, in 30 days automatically.
Mr. Meyyapan, the argument is that because the numbers are clearly stacked in favor of EPS over here, that 1/5 also is not going to come in. So meeting, how does it happen? That is also something which is clearly in the doc.
No, it just means the meeting will happen. So the invitation to the meeting is valid only when there is 1/5 of total members that agree on it. So if the two coordinators now, as it stands today, do not agree on the meeting being called, then the 1/5 of the total members can automatically issue a notice calling for the meeting. Within 30 days, if the party coordinators do not respond, automatically in another 15 days, the general council will have to be set up. And that's why the court has even extended another arm saying if the coordinators do not agree, if the general council does not come to a consensus, you can always approach the court back, have a court-appointed commissioner who convenes and conducts the meeting on that day. So the options have been given by the court. So the court is not concerned with what is the outcome later on. The court is only concerned with the process. The court says you will have to abide by your bylaws, by the Societies Registration Act. You fail to do so, then the court has the right to call back those things into question.
All right. Mr. Meyyapan and Mr. Muralidharan, thank you so much. I'd have to just